Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about a very important concept, a very simple concept to understand in the next hour or so. Hit subscribe to this channel right this second. We're almost at 200,000 subscribers and we're approaching 193,000. So if you know anyone who might enjoy this channel, we talk about a lot of things most people don't want to address. The Durham probe special counsel. It's a special counsel, just like the Mueller probe. The difference being it's investigating why government officials were duped into believing that the Kremlin installed Trump without any evidence at all and only with information obtained and gathered by Trump's direct political rival. Okay? The projection has been unbelievable the past 5, 6 years. Hit subscribe to this channel, to my super chat. I can't thank you enough. I can't do this without you. So to my super chat, you help me do these live streams. I'm going to try to do 2 live streams every day. So I will have another live stream tonight at around 7 p.m., 8 p.m. Pacific time. So be here at around 7 p.m., 8 p.m. Pacific time. Subscribe also to the Stock Market Crash channel. We have almost 20,000 subs there. That will be below in the pinned comment. Everything from Bitcoin to stocks, the Dow Jones is going to tank down to 20,000, similar to March of 2020. I believe Bitcoin's going to get to 10,000. We're seeing oil approach $100 per barrel. It's probably going to go past its all-time high of $147 or so. We have inflation that's skyrocketing inflation. Interest rate hikes of even 50 basis points in March. They are not going to stop runaway inflation. When you pump $10 trillion into the economy because you have ended economic activity, when the smartest people in the room, the same people who told you that Trump was installed by the Kremlin, pushed to end economic activity because the experts told them to do so, they opened up a Pandora's box of problems. And we are just beginning to see everything I've talked about in my Federalist article. So I predicted this in my Federalist article. That will be below in the pinned comment. That was last October. I said we're heading into a devastating stock market crash because of the policies of the Democratic Party, and we're seeing that right now. Hit subscribe to this channel. Durham alleges cyber analysts exploited access to Trump White House servers. Now we're going to get to the actual indictment. I'm going to start reading this every single day. I can't decide whether we're going to do a Durham probe live stream tonight or a live stream on Alec Baldwin's latest lawsuit, but we'll see. Be here tonight, though, at around 7, 8 p.m. But I want to just read you a whole bunch of things that are very, very important to my super chat. Again, thank you. Now, if you look, ladies and gentlemen, media, New York Times, Washington Post, like Vanity Fair, they can't, a whole bunch of publications loyal to the Democratic Party can't, MSNBC obviously can't come to terms with the fact that they set up and framed Trump, and they did so through legal means. They did so through attorneys, and they did so through tech companies and tech executives. When they say that the Kremlin hacked into the DNC, the only evidence they have is a tech company that they paid, not the U.S. government. When they indicted Russian intelligence officials, it was tech company one, not the U.S. government obtaining information. If you say, well, the government didn't confirm anything because the United States Senate only confirmed the high to moderate confidence assessment of loyalists like John Brennan and James Clapper. But here, in fact, and has alleged in further detail below, this statement was intentionally false and misleading because in assembling and conveying these allegations, Sussman acted on behalf of specific clients, namely U.S. technology industry tech executive one at a U.S. internet company and the Hillary Clinton presidential campaign. The third person indicted after Kevin Kleinsmith, and the third person indicted. Sorry about the internet. The Sorry about the buffering, ladies and gentlemen. The third person indicted, okay, after the third person indicted after um, Kevin Kleinsmith and the after Kevin Kleinsmith and the steel subsource Danchenko was Michael Sussman. Michael Sussman was paid by the Clinton campaign. Michael Sussman was working for a law firm that was very involved in helping disseminate information and spread all this false information to media and to government agencies. They also hired um, they also they also hired um, Christopher Steele. Okay, the Steele dossier. The Steele dossier was purchased, and we'll get to that. I mean, that's obvious. We've spoken about that endlessly. But if you look, Sussman also, in addition to his law firm spread the Steele dossier or purchased the Steele dossier on behalf of Clinton and the DNC. Clinton and the DNC they never compiled anything themselves or purchased anything themselves. They used intermediaries. The intermediaries were lawyers or tech executives. So Sussman is being indicted for allegedly lying to the legal counsel at the Bureau, saying that, well, the information that we have pertaining to Trump, that he was communicating with a Russian bank, this is true. And I'm not working for the Clinton campaign. I'm just doing this as a good citizen. So you better trust me, FBI. Well, that, of course, was a lie. But the Bureau knew this almost certainly. So Michael Sussman is actually very likely innocent. The problem, yeah, he is innocent of that charge. The problem that people don't understand is Durham is very smart. He's indicting Sussman while at the same time trying to give people in government the ability to distance themselves from Clinton, the DNC, and lawyers and tech people that worked for Clinton and the DNC to spread and promulgate a whole bunch of nonsense. See, right now, the government, whether it's the Central Intelligence Agency or the Federal Bureau of Investigation, what they're doing is they're saying, well, we were just given information by the Clinton campaign. We didn't know. We had no clue. We thought that the information was accurate. We thought that the information was legitimate. We thought that there really was concern that Trump was working with Russia. We had no clue that these people had a political motive. Okay? And so when Durham does this, when he indicts people, you remember you heard, oh, they're going to flip and sing. Well, all of these people are going to flip and sing. You already have Sussman saying that's not true. The Bureau knew exactly what I was doing. And that is true. The Bureau did know. So now you have this psychological or theatrical performance from former officials at the Bureau and lawyers and tech people that worked for the Clintons and the DNC. The theatrical performance is the former government officials saying, well, we had no clue they had a political motive. And the lawyers and the tech people saying, well, of course they knew. They thought that this was just as legitimate as we did. And everyone knows all they were doing is setting up and framing Trump, utilizing the government. The government was more than willing to accept any absurd piece of information to take down 45. It's not rocket science. This is very, very easy. Oliver, hello. It's very, very easy to understand. It's not difficult to understand. So if you look at the actual indictment, Tech Executive 1 and Law Firm 1 had coordinated and were continuing to coordinate with representatives and agents of the Clinton campaign with regard to the data and written materials that Sussman gave to the FBI and the media. Why is it so difficult for the New York Times and the Washington Post to make a very logical leap, or to make the obvious leap of logic and say Clinton was or the DNC, they were manipulating the media narrative and manipulating government agencies like the Bureau into investigating Trump and creating this suspicion, this narrative that he could be installed by the Kremlin or working as an operative of the Kremlin? Why is that so difficult for them to understand or to admit? If they don't get a signed, like, oath, signed in bodily fluids, okay? If they don't get an oath signed by everyone involved, either people at the Bureau or John Brennan or James Comey, we hereby promise or swear that we tried to set up and frame Trump with bogus information and data given to us by people paid by Clinton in order to further the narrative that Trump was installed by the Kremlin. Signed, Comey, Strzok, McCabe, Clapper, Brennan, James Baker, all of these people, Kleinsmith. They're never going to get that. What you're going to get is a lot of indictments where people had conflicts of interest, and a lot of indictments like the Sussman indictment where they're working alongside government agencies getting paid by Clinton and giving these government agencies and media false information about Trump. Why? How on earth is that so difficult? Why is that so difficult for media to finally admit? Because Trump was right. He was being set up and framed. And the indictment here, Sussman, Tech Executive 1, Law Firm 1, had coordinated. Why is it so difficult for media to understand that the tech executive, the law firm, getting paid by Clinton, or the law firm and Sussman getting paid by Clinton, working on behalf of Tech Executive 1 and the Clinton campaign, okay, compiled data and written materials that they gave to the FBI and media, which were false and created the, suspicion and the narrative Trump shouldn't be trusted because he was installed by the Kremlin. Why is that? Or that he was communicating with Alpha Bank, the Russian bank. Why is that so difficult for Democrats, morally superior liberal Democrats, to understand? Wild Cajun, thank you, Wild Cajun. Bobby Benson. Bobby, thank you so much, Bobby. Janet McGuffey. Janet, thank you so very much, as always. Janet, so kind of you. So kind of you. Janet, thank you so much. Janet McGuffey, so kind of you. So kind of you, Janet. Thank you. Bobby, thank you. Wild Cajun, thank you so much. It is I'm just so appreciative, Janet and everybody here, Bobby and Wild Cajun. Thank you so very much. I'm just so appreciative, and I can't thank you enough, Janet. So kind of you always, every live stream. It's just so wonderful you support, this channel and my work. So thank you so very much. I can't thank you enough, Janet. So kind of you. Bobby Benson, thank you for the kind words, and thank you. Wild Cajun, thank you so very, very much. Thank you so much, Janet, for the kind words as well. And my goodness, I just can't thank you enough. You're awesome. The super chat. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. The FBI's investigation of these allegations nevertheless concluded there was insufficient evidence to support the allegations of secret communication channel with Russian Bank One. So the interesting thing is, Janet, Wild Cajun, Bobby, everybody here, and Janet, thank you again, as always. And Bobby and Wild Cajun, thank you so much also. Thank you. The FBI's investigation of these allegations nevertheless concluded there was insufficient evidence. So every single thing that Chris Hayes or Cuomo or everyone at the Washington Post or the New York Times or MSNBC, CNN, everything that they accused Trump of was either a lie or an exaggeration that basically did not tell the whole story or the truth. There was nothing that he was accused of in the past 5 to 6 years that actually led to any specific indictment of Trump, arrest of Trump, or any charge, anything in a court of law from his, not only from Trump Russia, from his tax returns, from Stormy, from the Trump organization, nothing. They indicted everyone pertaining to Trump because of process crimes or things that had nothing to do with the original allegations. Now, what Durham is doing is actually finding illegal activity pertaining directly to the lies told about Trump. So Kleinsmith had to lie to a FISA judge because he had nothing on Trump. The Steele subsource lied about information pertaining to Trump. Sussman lied to the Bureau about the credibility or the legitimacy or the accuracy of information, or that he was working for the Clinton campaign. Okay, and Trump was under surveillance, so we can go ahead and see this here. Defendant. Previously, Sussman was employed by the U.S. Department of Justice in various capacities. So this is what they do. They get people who were former DOJ officials or employees. They know people at the Department of Justice. They know people in government. They know people at the Bureau. They know people throughout, intelligence agencies. And they call up people and they say, hey, listen, why don't you investigate our direct political rivals? Here's some information. And that's what they did to Trump. In his work at Law Firm One, Sussman represented numerous clients in cybersecurity, privacy, and national security related matters. Law Firm One and its role. Okay, so you know what? The law firm purchased the Steele dossier on behalf of the Clintons. So, as part of its efforts to assist the Clinton campaign, the DNC, Law Firm One retained a particular investigative firm to gather information regarding Trump's purported ties to Russia. Throughout the presidential campaign, the U.S. investigative firm worked with Law Firm One, members of the media, and others to gather and disseminate purported evidence of Trump's ties to Russia. The whole thing was fabricated nonsense. Janet, thank you again. So kind of you, Janet. Thank you so much. Bobby, Wild Cajun, thank you. So, Tech Executive One. Okay, so let's see here. Tech Executive One was at all times relevant to this indictment. An executive of a particular internet company which offers various internet related services. Okay, so it's interesting. By virtue of his position at Tech Executive One and a tech company, one and other companies, Tech Executive One maintained direct or indirect access to and the ability to provide others access to large amount of internet and cybersecurity data. when they say, well, all of this took place under President Obama's administration. No, it didn't. Whether there was some kind of malware or some kind of contract with this company and President Obama's administration has absolutely nothing to do with the fact that he was working alongside an attorney paid by the DNC and Madam Secretary to dig up as much information about Trump as possible, including his internet activity. That's why he was under surveillance. Again, it's not difficult to understand. When Vanity Fair and the Washington Post or the New York Times or MSNBC or CNN, when they say, we found out Clinton did not spy on Trump, that is an overt lie. Okay, Bill Clinton he wasn't hiding behind, like, underneath the desk. Oh, I hope that Trump doesn't find me. I'm underneath the Oval Office desk right now, and I have all this surveillance equipment, and I'm listening in on his phone calls, and I'm finding out what kind of salacious websites he's looking at. Oh my goodness, he's moving his feet. Oh goodness gracious, help me, Lord. That's not what happens. He's not act like the Clintons. Yes, it's true. The Clintons did not themselves, with their own computers, they did not with their own computers spy on Trump. Yes, that is like completely not the discussion here. That's not the discussion here. That's not what anyone is saying. What's taken place is they paid people. Lying dog face pony soldier, thank you. Thanks for doing the work, MSM1. I appreciate that. Thank you. CD, hello. Exactly. Janet, thank you again. What they did was pay Tech Sussman, and Tech Executive One worked because possibly we find out he was promised the job. So Tech Executive One might not have been paid directly by Clinton, but he's very likely a liberal Democrat. And Tech Executive One said, I was tentatively offered a top cybersecurity job by the Democrats when it looked like they'd win. I definitely would not take the job under Trump. So that's interesting. Why you would not take the job under Trump. As if Trump did not pay you the same currency or the same dollars, because everybody knows that a tech company can only be paid by Democrats. So he's taking the pseudo-moral, not even moral stance. Basically, he's taking the, perhaps for whatever reason, whether it's morality or whether his clients would leave him, who knows? Maybe it was based on financial concerns because he had so many clients associated with the Democratic Party. But he wasn't going to take a job in the Trump White House. But he was offered a job. So Tech Executive One was offered a job in a Democratic administration as a cybersecurity analyst. So the Russia Bank allegations, here we find out where Trump was actually under surveillance. Now here we find out, by, in, or around late July 2016, a computer researcher who used the moniker Tea Leaves, Originator One, had assembled purported DNS data reflecting apparent DNS lookups between Russia Bank and an email domain. The purported data spanned the time period on or about May 4, 2016 through on or about July 29, 2016. So why does it matter if President Obama was president if they were trying to link a Trump domain name to Russia Bank? Can somebody please explain what, like, the comeback, the rebuttal, what they're trying to do when they refute these allegations? They say, well, who is president? It was President Obama. It wasn't Trump in the Oval Office. Yeah, but the domain name had nothing to do with Democrats. It was a Trump domain name. They tried to link that to Russia Bank, which, by the way, they found was complete nonsense. It was just like marketing software that linked the two together, and it was nothing nefarious. So, at all relevant times to this indictment, originator one was a business associate of tech executive one. So, here you have, over the ensuing weeks, as part of their lawyer-client relationship, Sussman and tech executive one, Jody Cephas, thank you, Jody, greatly appreciated. Thank you, Jody. Thank you. Over the ensuing weeks, as part of their lawyer-client relationship, Sussman and tech executive one engaged in efforts with Clinton lawyer one and individuals acting on behalf of the Clinton campaign to share information about the Russia Bank with media and others. It's the media that helped influence it's the government agencies and media that had a symbiotic relationship when it came to all of this. They both needed a pretext to spread lies about Trump. When the Washington Post has this running tally of lies, they never look at the mirror. They never look in the mirror or that of the political establishment and look at all the lies told. Every day, if Trump told 2 or 3 lies, you can multiply that by 10 when pertaining to all the lies told about how he was working with Russia, installed by the Kremlin, communicating with Alpha Bank, met with Russian intelligence officials, all of these things in the Steele dossier or the Alpha Bank story or whatever. Nobody lied more than media and Democrats and intelligence operatives. When intelligence operatives say it's an ongoing investigation, we can't reveal sources and methods, they're lying. It's a lie by omission. It has nothing to do with sources and methods. They don't want to answer the question. It's so obvious. This is something an 8th grader would do. Like, it's like, I can't tell you, what, you're not part of the, the in crowd. I can't tell you. It's information that you can't know about. You just can't hear about this information. From in or about July through in or about mid-August 2016, Sussman Tech Executive One campaign lawyer one coordinated and communicated about the Russian Bank allegations during telephone calls and meetings with Sussman billed to the Clinton campaign. So he was getting paid by the Clinton campaign, but also Clinton, if you look right here, computer scientists have apparently uncovered a covert server linking the Trump organization to a Russia-based bank. She was paying the attorney who was working alongside the computer scientists to spread this lie and this false story. I mean, it's not difficult. This is not rocket science. This is not very difficult to understand. This is not something difficult to understand. This is not something difficult to understand. This is very simple. They set up and framed Trump utilizing suspicion that was created. They created suspicion. They purchased a myth, and they did so through legal means initially. Now it's very difficult. See, there was an article today by a really, really brilliant man who was saying, and it was in the Hill, as Andrew McCarthy, I believe. He's awesome. And he said, well, because he knows what's going on, but he's like, well, it can't be compared to Watergate because in Watergate you had not Andrew McCarthy. Hold on one second. Hold on. Um, Here. Sorry. Yeah, Andrew C. McCarthy. Okay. So he's really great, but he wrote an article. Did Durham find something worse than Watergate? Not so far. And the reason he says that is because, well, there were no government officials found to have conspired against Trump. Yes, there were. Yes, there were. Okay. The guy Sussman told, the man Sussman was working with, okay, at the Bureau was conspiring against Trump. But the indictment, Sussman is indicted for lying to this man. Almost, this man knew, okay? Dr. Debo Cherry, keep fighting, babe. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Debo Cherry. Thank you. Thank you so very much. Greatly, greatly, greatly appreciated. Thank you. Dr. Debo Cherry, so kind of you. Thank you. Janet, thank you so very much. Everyone here to my super chat, thank you. Dr. Debo Cherry, thank you so very, very, very much. Greatly appreciated. And thank you as always for watching for so many years. Thank you. Okay, government officials, Dr. Debo Cherry and Janet, everybody here. Government officials needed a pretext to investigate Trump, okay? And they accepted and pursued the most absurd claims and narratives. That's the issue. That's what's going on. Not doing a Tubin, just a little bit warm. And so that's what's going on. Thank you again to my super chat. Thank you so very much. That's what's going on. They needed a pretext. So, of course, they conspired against Trump. I wrote in the Federalist, if you want to, I wrote in the Federalist. You can go to the Federalist author page. And I wrote, Comey and McCabe should be charged with a conspiracy to defraud Americans. And for conspiring to defraud Americans. Not long ago, this statute is broad. The 371, 18 U.S. Code 371. They broke that statute. It's not difficult. And that's what Durham is looking at. I wrote this in April of 2019. People, you can go to just type in Federalist H.A. Goodman. And if you want to read my writing on The Hill, The Huffington Post, Salon, The Jerusalem Post, The Daily Caller, other publications, you can go to hagoodman.com. Janet, Dr. Debo Cherry, everyone here. I wrote about this. Rush Limbaugh actually shared one of my articles 2 days in a row on his radio show when he was alive. And Comey and McCabe should be charged. Okay, and I explain. H.A. Goodman, April 12, 2019, in the Federalist. I explain. The statute that they broke was 18 U.S. Code 371. They did conspire against Trump, and they did so utilizing their government, their positions within the United States government. Okay? It's not difficult to understand. And I explain. I talked about all of this. Glenn Evans, Glenn, thank you. Thank you, Glenn. Greatly appreciated. Thank you, Glenn. I explain all of this. But here, we go on to, and Dr. Debo Cherry, thank you. Janet, thank you. We go on to a little bit down here. So, paragraph 22, Tech Executive 1 later shared certain results of these data searches and analysis with Sussman so that Sussman in turn could provide them to media and the FBI. Now, do I have to be my annoying self, ladies and gentlemen, to read this over and over again and just repeat myself endlessly, which is part of my annoying charm? All I do is repeat myself. Sometimes it feels like I'm talking to a wall. Not when I'm talking to everyone here, but just basically when I'm doing segments over the years, I'm trying to say something and telling people this is what's happening. And you know what? It's like, Durham, nothing's gonna happen. Nothing's gonna happen. It's like, well, Rome wasn't built in a day. There's a zero media coverage, and now things are heating up. What did I tell you? I said, when unfortunately the economy goes down the tank, down the toilet, there's going to be more emphasis on the Durham probe, and we're seeing that. So when you have articles like, no, Clinton didn't spy on Trump, just the typical nauseating inability to understand or, accept just basic logic and reason. These people are so arrogant. They're such narcissists. Like, if any of this happened to them, oh my God, the outrage would be, heard throughout the galaxy. My God Almighty. No, Clinton didn't spy on Trump. DJ KN DSN, thank you. DJ KN DSN, thank you so very much. DJ KN DSN, thank you. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Tech Executive 1, when they're like, well, you know what? There was they were just looking at malware. It's like, yeah, that is a really stupid excuse. Especially when in paragraph 22, Tech Executive 1 later shared certain results of data searches pertaining to Trump's internet traffic and analysis with Sussman, so that in turn Sussman could provide them to the media and the FBI. So when you type in you get you'll never believe it, but Hillary Clinton did not in fact spy on Trump's White House. Well, then why is there this paragraph? Tech Executive 1 later shared certain results of data searches pertaining to Trump's internet usage and analysis with Sussman, so that Sussman could in turn provide them to the media and the Bureau. I mean, it's almost like you're providing media with the answer, or like with the antithesis of everything they claimed. With basically, you're proving that media lied, and instead of accepting the reality, they quote and cite Maggie Haberman's new book that said Trump threw National Archives documents down the toilet. I mean, it's almost as if the more information you disclose or give them pertaining to how many lies they've told, the more they just retreat back into, oh, well, you can't prove that Clinton wanted any of this. She literally paid Sussman, who was working with clients to obtain information to further the nonsense that the DNC and Madam Secretary wanted publicized. I mean, it's not difficult to understand. Again, they want Bubba Bill to be like, oh, what I did was I was descending down from the roof like Mission Impossible, and a string was holding me down. And Trumpy, he didn't even look up. Trump wouldn't even look up. And remember that scene in Mission Impossible where Tom Cruise there was some sweat, and oh my goodness, there was some sweat dropping down my forehead, and oh my goodness, he almost knew, but I was just, I managed to just, I went like this, and I was surveying the whole Oval Office. He didn't even know I was there. That's what they want. They want like an admission from both Clintons. Yes, we were spying, assigned to the Clintons. That's what they want, but they will never get that. So what they will get is these indictments explaining exactly what took place. JG, hello. So, Dr. Debo, thank you. Janet, thank you as always. Um, at all relevant times, this indictment Internet Company 2 was a company that, among other things, collected DNS data from various points in the internet. So you have it right here. They were collecting data. They were collecting data here. In connection with tasking Tech Executive 1, in addition with tasking, Tech Executive 1 emailed to Internet Company 3. This is interesting. Internet Company 3 personnel of a 5-page document, Trump Associates list, listing 6 associates of Trump and a purported U.S.-based lobbyist for Russia Bank 1, who also discussed in written materials prepared by U.S. investigative firm that Sussman would later provide to the Bureau General Counsel. So how on earth is Trump is not under surveillance? It's right here. They never read the indictment. They keep saying, well, the indictment doesn't say Trump was under surveillance. Well, what do you want Durham to say? That Clinton, he's not indicting Clinton, although that could very well happen. Although I do think she's running again, which would be fantastic. Oh yes, oh yes. Dr. Debo, Janet, JG, JG. Hold on. Yes. I want, just so all of you have a good day, I want Madam Secretary to run again. She will make a fantastic Democratic nominee. Of course, that the Democrats don't have primaries anyway. Enjoy, behold, our possible next president, the 47th. I think she should run again. She would make a fantastic Democratic nominee. She would make a better president than mashed potato brains. Then again, anyone would. I would vote for Trump 1,000,000 out of 1,000,000 times. But we have to accept that 2016, we're in a time warp. It's never, ever, we have not moved. We're still in 2016. We're still in, if there are alternate universes, they're stuck in 2016. I will be vindicated yet again. I will have called it. If I'm 4 years too late, you know what? That's fine. I will have said all the things. There's a method to the madness. There's a method to the madness. And all the people who, on the left, oh, I don't really want to vote for Clinton. Like, no, you're going to vote. You're going to fall in line, or else you lose all your friends. You'll lose all your friends, and you'll be excommunicated. You'll commit blasphemy and all that. This could be the next president of the United States of America. Ladies and gentlemen, I am begging the Clinton campaign to please run. We need Trump versus Clinton again. May the best human win. Let's just do this again. And look, if Clinton loses to Trump again, there's nothing to be ashamed of, because you know it had to happen. This is, it has to happen. Too much. Look, there are too many people who believe that Russia installed Trump. And if that's true, the only logical course of action or recourse or consequence is a rematch. This time, when morally superior liberals look at that boy for four, hello. It's in the prophecy. It's a prophecy. It's the Goodman prophecies. I am begging the Clinton campaign, run again, please. Help vindicate what I've been saying for so long. If it's 4 years too late, fine. But look, there are millions upon millions upon millions of people, good, morally superior liberals, wonderful people, wonderful, wonderful, beautiful people who think that when you say to them, well, Trump never worked with Russia. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Okay, then we must have a rematch. We have Ali Frazier, Celtics, Lakers. Um, you know, I mean, how many? Sugar Ray Leonard, Roberto Duran. I mean, come on. I mean, um, John Jones, Daniel Cormier. I mean, all the great rivalries. What do you? I mean, what you have? Come on. Um, um, Max, Joe Lewis, Max Schmeling. Um, I mean, give me a rivalry, bro. Give me some rivalries below in the chat. Give me rivalries. I want rivalry. We have Lakers, Celtics. That's obvious. Dodgers, Giants. Okay, Yankee, Boston, Red Sox, Yankees. Come on, Janet, Dr. Debo, everybody here. Give me some rivalries. We have, like I said, Ali Frazier, Ken Norton, and that was Muhammad Ali. That was great, also. Um, Norton always did very well. Um, Laverne versus Shirley. Yes, that was in Madison Square Garden. I remember that. Um, we have all the great rivalries. We must have a repeat and a rematch, and nobody will enjoy it more than me. Oh my God, I will savor it because I tried to tell people on the left I was very idealistic. Maybe if I say I'm only voting for Bernie Sanders, who was cheated eventually and who basically was in on it almost certainly, I won't vote for Clinton. Oh my God, I was Satan's spawn. I'm worse than anybody who's ever lived. Oh my God. The hit pieces, the vitriol. Oh my God, how dare you not vote for Clinton? Oh, now I'm the one who wants Clinton to be nominee again. And look, and I'm telling you, so it has to be. This is a prophecy. It's preordained. Has to happen. And I believe she's going to run again. Also, I mean, Durham is almost certainly not going to indict her if she runs again. So, uh, so Turb, too bad. It's so funny. Ah, well, that was closed circuit, JG. Tubin versus was closed circuit. Only a Zoom audience paid for Zoom audience. Anyway, anyway. Oh my goodness, that's hilarious. So, oh wow, wowzers, wowzers. So getting back to good times, good times. So they didn't spy on Trump, although they created a Trump associates list, obtained detailed information. How did they get the Trump's associates list? Oh, that's right. From spying on Trump. Oh, gee, how does that work? Wow, the Trump associates list contained detailed personal information for these individuals, including, for example, their names, home addresses, personal email addresses, business names, business websites, email domains, suspected IP addresses for those domains, and information pertaining to the spouse of one of these associates? My God, Tech Executive 1 directed that these individuals should be the focus of Internet Companies 3 data queries and analysis. So there you go. Honor about employees for Internet Company 2 acting at the request of Internet Company 3 found their holdings of non-public internet data against a lengthy list of more than 9,000 IP addresses, 3,000 internet domains, and 60 email addresses. Excuse me. Gilmore 11! Thank you! Gilmore 11, thank you! So, refer to Trump Organization, aforementioned Trump Associates and a Russia bank. So, I mean, this is all obtained through surveillance. God, what is so difficult to understand? My God Almighty. Okay? Thank you so very much. Gilmore 11, thank you. This is why we must have Madam Secretary. Trump can't go through all of this. The country can't go through all of this and then have, mashed potato brains run again. Okay? I want some excitement. I want to enjoy and savor. I want to, at least I can understand Clinton. I can't even understand Biden. The translator needs a translator when Biden's on the phone with Putin or anyone else. Clinton would make a much better president than Biden, although I would vote for Trump 1,000 out of 1,000 times. Trump would make he was a much infinitely better president than Biden. So, and he'd make a better president than Madam Secretary, but I want a rematch. This is what the Democratic Party needs. It's what the country needs. It's what the world needs. It's what the universe must have. We cannot go through all of this simply because Madam Secretary, lost. We need another rematch to just finally come to a conclusion that Trump, yet again, or she could win, but Trump yet again won, and so we'll put all of that to rest. But we need another rematch. And then you have um Gilmore 11. Thank you again. Gilmore 11, thank you. Thank you, Gilmore 11. Thank you. Thank you, Gilmore 11. Thank you so very, very much. Greatly appreciated. So, moreover, as alleged below, Tech Executive One, thank you, Gilmore 11, provided information that he gathered through these interactions to lawyer Sussman. I mean, it's not difficult. They were obtaining lists of people that were associated with Trump. That is called surveillance. What is so difficult to understand? What is so difficult to understand? My God Almighty. Research concerning Trump. And then is among even if we found that Tech Executive One asked us to find in DNS, we don't see the money flow and we don't see the content of some messages saying send money here. Fill out a sales form on 2 websites faking the other company's email. Oh my God. Originator 1 then explained that it would be possible to fill out a sales form on 2 websites faking the other company's email address in each form and thereby cause them to appear to have communicated with each other. Oh my God. They literally couldn't find anything on Trump. Originator 1 then concluded, oh my God. It's just the case that you can rest assured that Hillary's opposition research and whatever investigative journalism are also coming up with the same things. Oh my God. And then it was being able to provide evidence of anything that shows an attempt to behave badly in relation to this. The VIPs would be happy. Again, VIPs. Remember Reddit Stone Tier? Is that what she calls herself, VIPs? It's like every every person that works for the Clintons refers to them as VIPs. They're looking for a true story that could be used as the basis for closer examination. They're looking for anything to set up and frame Trump. The problem is, if the reverse were true, any of this, like they would never accept any of this. EMR, thank you. So, I mean, it's right here. Let's for a moment think of the best case scenario. We're able to show DNS communication exists between Trump and Russia. How do we plan to defend against criticism that this is not, uh, fabricated traffic we're observing? And there's no answer to that. Let's assume again that they were not smart enough to refute our best case scenario. Do you realize that we'll have to expose every trick we have in our bag to even make a very weak association? I mean, we cannot technically make any claims that would fly public scrutiny. Oh my God. The only thing that drives us at this point is that we do not like Trump. Folks, I'm afraid we have tunnel vision. Time to regroup. Well, there you go. I mean, it's right there. They're fabricating everything. They're fabricating everything. Okay? I'll probably read more of this later tonight. Be here tonight at around 7 p.m., 8 p.m. Pacific, people. I mean, it's right here. This is like unbelievable. We'll read the second part of all of this. Reporter one, who would later email, I'm back in town. I see Russians are hacking away. Any big news? These are the reporters. My God Almighty, Sussman. They're actually talking to attorneys paid by Clinton. Mind reader, can you meet Thursday or Friday? This is like despicable. As they plunge the country into this obsession, like it's like we're all the morally superior. Trump lies. He lies so much. He lies so much. Trump lies so much. Gilmore 11, thank you. This is all they were doing for like so long. That's all they were doing is just trying to, fabricate. JG. Glenn, Glenn Evans. Gilmore hard to follow, but second better than last. Thank you, Glenn. Glenn, thank you. EMR, I did, but the last part was and you. You will get your rematch, HA. There's no way still right, my getting away and you. But I don't think you finished the last part. EMR, thank you. I mean, it's right here. And we'll do the rest of this tonight. This is like homework. But I mean, read this out. Go to just type in Federalist H.A. Goodman. Ladies and gentlemen, it's pretty unbelievable that we are still questioning whether they media still can't can't believe that Clinton would spy on Trump, and the information is right there. It's right there. The information is right there. Computer scientists have apparently uncovered, they don't have anything on Trump, so they literally just fabricate things. They literally fabricate things. And that's enough. That's enough. Cynthia, thank you. And they literally just fabricate things, and that's enough for media um, to just continue the nonsense. So this was White House servers, and the way they refute this, they say, well, we spoke to lawyers, and the lawyers said that that's not true. It's like, well, yeah, but the lawyers could be wrong and are wrong in this case. So it, it's like it's like it's pretty unbelievable. But there you go. Notice this would never happen in a million years. It would never happen to President Obama, to mashed potato brains Biden, to Clinton. It would never happen. They would never allow this to take place. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it is 3 o'clock. Be here at around 8 p.m. Pacific tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I will have another live stream on the Durham Probe. Probably won't have one on Alec Baldwin. I did a segment on Alec Baldwin this morning, but be here tonight at around 7:30, 8 p.m. Pacific, people. And thank you so much, Janet. Thank you, Dr. Debo. Thank you, everyone here. Thank you so much. It's been absolutely wonderful. I wanted to do a quick afternoon session, and it was fantastic. I will see you tonight, everyone. JG, Eric, Luke, everyone here. Thank you. David, Von Kettering, thank you so much as always. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, everybody. I will